Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is October 18th, 2022, and we are on the brink. All right, we're on the brink. On the brink of what? Well, to understand what I mean by that, you'll have to tune in. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. It's very nice and sunny. It's actually a little chilly, but it's very nice and sunny here in the DC suburbs. All right, let's get into it. All right, starting off with the DXY, the US dollar currency index. You can see that we've been in this pattern for a bit now, for a few hours. So since yesterday around the same time, so about 24 hours, we've been in this pattern right here. This consolidation, okay? And interestingly enough, how did we get into this range, this consolidation? We came with a drawdown, okay? So typically, once you get an impulse, right, of any kind, you get consolidation, you continue the impulse, okay? Same thing to the upside. Get an impulse, consolidation, you continue the impulse. Obviously, the exception is when you're putting in a consolidation reversal pattern, which I do not perceive in this case, okay? So to understand what's going on here, we should zoom out just a bit, all right? So let's zoom out on the hourly time frame. And as you can see here, this is a massive flat correction, okay? It's a massive flat correction. And we just haven't had any big moves yet. And this is why Bitcoin is forever stuck at 19.5. We haven't had any big moves yet. This ABC flat correction went like this, came back almost to the same region, hung out, and it's still kind of hanging out in the same region, okay? This is why, in terms of volatility, in terms of price movement, you haven't really seen anything from Bitcoin yet, okay? You haven't really seen much from Bitcoin and most cryptocurrencies. Not all, but most, okay? So the big move is going to be, obviously, when this finally breaks, okay? When this finally breaks. And what we have here, as I pointed out yesterday, is a massive head and shoulders pattern, okay? This is a bearish construction, all right? So head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, they're bullish. Head and shoulders, they're bearish, okay? And the bearish head and shoulders pattern that we have here seems to be playing out. And what we've been in for the past 24 hours looks like, to me, a retest of this ever so important support that has just been broken, okay? So in any price action, whether you're breaking support or resistance, you always want to retest it, or you will always retest it before continuation, okay? And I think the continuation of this move will give us our break from 19.5, the 19.5 region that Bitcoin's been in for so long, okay? And again, why has Bitcoin been in the 19.5 region for so long? The DXY has been in the same region for just as long, okay? You can see that since late September, we've been in pretty much the same zone. Right now, what's happening is you went up and down, and you're finally looking to break this region right here, okay? And that is going to give you the big move to the downside. It's going to start the impulsive price action to the downside, really giving you some movement in the S&P, in Bitcoin, in the rest of the cryptocurrency market. Okay, so having looked at the DXY, let's go back to the small time frame. Having looked at the DXY, now let's have a quick look at Bitcoin and what Bitcoin's doing. So the DXY has been playing in this region for 24 hours. Actually, before we leave, we zoomed out, we saw the context. Let's try to read this region, okay? Let's see if we can't make sense of this, okay? So for me, looking at this, upon first glance, I want to say that this is a wave 4 correction. And I'll tell you why. Look at this. Okay? Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, going into wave 5. Okay? So now let's see if some Fibonacci extensions won't corroborate this read. Okay, so let's see about this. Let's say that this is the orthodox high or the top of the movement of wave 1. Wave 1 probably ends here. Wave 2 ends there. Okay. Looks like if that's the case, okay, here's another way to pull this. This can be an A wave and a B wave, I think. And then I think this is the start of your impulse right there. Okay? So if that's the start of your impulse, this is wave 1. This is the end of wave 1. This is the top of wave 2. And you seem to have an extension of wave 3 that's just beyond the 2 Fibonacci extension. Okay, so you have some kind of extended wave 3 here. Okay, if this is indeed an impulsive wave. Okay, and that starts like this and goes like that. Okay, that's a possibility. Don't know for sure, but it's a possibility. So if I'm reading this in the context of a complex wave 4 correction, okay, then we can start thinking in terms of double threes and triple threes. Okay, so now I'm looking at this. Okay. So one way to look at it would be this. I'm just going to hand draw it and then I'm going to put it in. That's my first wave. This is my second wave. And this is my impulse. This is my my move down, I guess. This is my pivot. I'm pivoting in a zigzag, perhaps. Okay. I see a double 3. Okay. I definitely see this right here, this middle move right here, as being one contiguous flat correction. Okay. So if that's the case, if I start from that, this is a 3-wave move, and that is a 5-wave impulse, right? So that's how I'm reading it. Three moves right there, a WXY, okay? So if this is indeed a wave 4 correction, then it just printed WXY, okay? And let's just measure this out. If this is the top of wave 2, and this is the bottom of wave 3, now let's turn on our volume to see if we don't have volume on this chart. I was trying to see if I could get a capitulative volume candle to show me the end of wave 3, but that's fine. It looks like, I don't know about this read. I don't know about this read in terms of this being the start of the impulsive wave, because you can see here, if this is your wave 4 complex correction, it's breaching the 382, and typically wave 4 ends between the 236 and the 382. Yeah, I don't know. But wave 4 obviously can breach the 382, in which case it typically yields extended wave 5 corrections. But we already saw, if this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, that this wave 3 is already extended just a touch. Yeah? You see that right here. Let's get rid of this. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. This is wave 1, retracement of wave 2. Wave 3 just doesn't end where we would expect it to end, It's slightly extended. This is where we expect wave 3 to end. It ends about here. Is that a big deal? I don't know. In any case, this isn't the easiest read, and I'm not gung-ho married to this Elliott wave count, but this is a possibility. It's a possibility, okay? I'm not gonna, put my life on that read, but that's something that can be happening here. But all we know is, structurally, what's happening is, it seems as if you lost an important level, right? You lost an important level, you're retesting it as resistance for continuation. Okay, I'm more comfortable with that as a holistic read of what's going on in the DXY. Okay, so that's the DXY. Let's now look at Bitcoin. So what's Bitcoin doing all this time? Let's see. So Bitcoin on the 5-minute chart, you can see, is putting in some sort of consolidation reversal, okay? And looks like it's been doing that for quite some time. Let's zoom out first. Okay. And this is also a bit of a tough read. It's a bit of a tough read. We're on the brink, though. We're on the brink because you can see that for the past few, about 24 hours, same time frame that the DXY was hanging out in its range, Bitcoin had been ranging. And that range is clearly a corrective range. And then this right here is the summation, or sort of the final capitulative, impulsive move of whatever this is. Okay? And this to me screams of a B wave. Okay? And a B wave of a larger, looks like a 3-wave move. But at the same time, it also looks like a 5-wave move. I'm not going to lie, this is a bit confusing to me. Because I would want to take the 5 waves here, measure from the top or bottom to the top, and say whatever it is, we should have stopped at the 618, because this is some sort of 3-wave move, or flavor of 3 move, that is in play for a type of zigzag. But then you can also read it as this being a 3-wave move, this being a 3-wave move. So that's a flat correction, a 335, right? 3 waves here. 3 waves here, 3 waves here, 5 waves there. Okay, and in that case, you would take your Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom of here to the top of there. The thing is, I don't know why. So it's behaving. If I pull the Fibonacci retracement from the bottom, from the base of this AB structure, then it looks more like a zigzag. I guess what's confusing me here is where to pull the Fibonacci retracement level from. If it's a 535, corrective zigzag, maybe I should be pulling my Fibonacci retracement levels from the base of the AB structure and not the base of the 5 waves. Okay, so maybe that's what's confusing me. In which case, that would make perfect sense. Get 5 waves here. I mean, I like this. If I have to choose between the 3-5 and the 5-5, I definitely like this better. 5, 3, 5. Okay, and here you're respecting the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement of these 3 waves. Okay, so in any case, to me, from my reading, however you read this, it's very likely that the next move is a 5-wave sequence up. Okay, it's a 5-wave sequence up. Our momentum indicator on the hourly time frame is showing us we're double bottomed and cross bullish on the momentum indicator. Okay, our 4-hourly indicator is crossed bearish, but if we do start moving up, it will be crossed bullish. It won't give us any divergence necessarily, but it'll be crossed bullish in maybe neutral or oversold territory. Okay, the daily time frame looks good. Last I checked, yeah, it's crossed bullish already. And then the 15-minute time frame. So the immediate short term looks like we're cross bullish in the immediate short term. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin, right? All of this for the past 24 hours, I thought this was a triangle. I read this as a triangle. If you remember yesterday, I think I read something like, what did I read? I can't see it now. Something like A, B, C, D, E, or something like that. Yeah? But this clearly wasn't a triangle. This more than likely is some sort of double 3. A wave, this massive B wave, pivot into your impulse. That's a regular, a WXY if you'd like, right? Because this is quite complex. So it's a WXY, right? That's W. All this is an X wave. And this is your Y. Okay, your final kind of capitulative, impulsive wave. And so should get a reversal here. You should get a reversal at this level for Bitcoin. All right, 1 second, guys. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just doing something really quickly. Okay. All right. Just gonna check something really quickly. Hope you guys are well. If you're listening, if you're watching, definitely shout yourself out. Let me know who's here, where you're listening or watching from. Let's see. Okay. All right, so that was Bitcoin. Now let's have a look at the SPX. So the SPX is also on a brink. It's on the brink. On the hourly time frame, you can see that we've put in these 2 degrees of AB basing, right? A wave, this massive composed B wave, right? Which is your first degree, a smaller degree right here. So it looks as if it's time for impulsive price action. And if you turn on the volume indicator, oh, we don't have volume on this chart. I don't have volume on this chart. You should see a big volume spike here, okay, indicating the start of impulsive price action. So you kind of have this W formation right here. And let's turn on our momentum indicator if we have it. Yeah, we have it. Let's go on the 4-hourly time frame. Okay, and yeah, you see it's confirmed bullish divergence here on the 4-hourly time frame. This is a lower low, and these 2 vertices make lower lows. Here, it's even, okay? So this is playing out right here. Okay, these don't always play out, but this one in particular is playing out. So you should get a continuation to the upside in this, as you got, it seems, a wave 1, wave 2 situation. And again, when you're looking at a wave 1, wave 2, if you're trying to determine whether or not it's impulsive, look at the time and the price. So the time it took for this wave 1 to form is about the same time it took for this wave 2 to form. This wave 2 looks like a sharp correction. And then the price is retraced by about 60%, 50 to 60%, which is what you expect. As you can see here, it's almost to the penny, 61.8% retracement. Okay, and this continuation indicates an impulsive move. Okay, so you're basically continuing the impulse into wave 3 from here. So you should see a move up, which takes you about the head of this W pattern. Yeah, so this should be your next target around here somewhere for the SPX. So I mean, we're seeing in the SPX that you're at the brink. You're literally on the neckline for breakout. Okay, and on Bitcoin we're seeing something similar. As we saw, you've been in this region. You've been in this region for quite some time. You hit it. You came down about 50-60%, and you're matriculating up almost correctively. And one can say, here's another read. I've had trouble reading this, but something just came to me. Maybe this is a thing, maybe it's not, I don't know. But let's try, okay? This just came to me. Let's look at this. Okay. So this 5-wave structure, which is undeniably a 5-wave structure, we looked at it before on the smaller time frame. It's took about 12 hours to form, okay? 1 second. Okay, and then this right here, I think this is all part of the same sequence, took about 3 times as long, okay? So for me, this is unmistakably, it's no longer a 5, this is clearly 5 waves, right? But it's not pure impulsive price action because the retrace did not yield a continuation to the upside in the span of time required for us to assert some sort of impulsive price action, right? Pure impulse happens at, in a sense that nothing retraces beyond 61.8% of the previous impulse, and the time is always proportional. So, wave 1 usually takes around the same time as wave 2, and vice versa. Or, yeah, wave 2 takes around the same time as wave 1, and then wave 3, and then wave 4. That relationship is a little more tricky, but still, there's some proportion. That's why it's said that waves of the same degree are comparable in time and in price. So for me, this is definitely an A-B situation. Still, let's say that this is a 5-wave sequence, A wave. This is a 3-wave B wave, right? It took 3 times as long. And now you're putting in a 5-wave sequence like this, a leading diagonal. Let's look at this as a potential leading diagonal. I have not explored that, okay? And we don't see these all the time. But first, before we do that, let's actually brush up on our theory and see what is a leading diagonal, okay? So for that, let's go into Prechter and Frost. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, let's look. Leading diagonal. I think it's here, yeah? Okay, leading diagonal. Okay, occasionally appears in the wave 1 position of impulses and in the wave 8 position of zigzags, okay? It is 53535, yeah? They say that sometimes it can look like a 33333, but in my experience, the leading diagonal always looks like a 53535, except it's slanted. Okay, so here's an example of a leading diagonal. In a downtrend. So it's expanding. Okay, so let's look at it. This is what Prechter and Frost have to say. Honestly, I don't think they did a great job on the leading diagonal. Let's have a look at what Steve Sinclair says. I think he did a better job with the leading diagonal. Interestingly enough, I'm already at... Alright, see. So Steve Sinclair asserts the leading diagonal being 53535. Excuse me. Interestingly enough, I don't think that is a bad thing that Prechter and Frost say. We have seen certain cases, 2 such cases, where it was a leading diagonal and it wasn't 53535, it was 33333. To that I say, I appreciate the humility of these traders that have been trading for half a century to be able to say, we don't know everything. Here's something we just found out. But again, it may be that is a misread on their part, and they're reading what they thought they were reading as a leading diagonal was not a leading diagonal, it's just a corrective wave. But in any case, Steve Sinclair says leading diagonals, first of the 2 patterns, and they look something like this, a 53535, where here's the one case, and I say this sometimes, here's the one case where your retracement, your 0618 is retraced upon, or how do I say this? your impulse to the upside can be retraced beyond the 0618, and it's still a viable impulse. The leading diagonal is the only case, only such case. Do you understand? So typically it's 0618, right? Everything holds as 0618, but in a leading diagonal, you can see that you're just retracing a large degree of the previous impulse. So wave 4 is also entering the territory of wave 2, which you don't see in a regular 53535, right? And that's one of the rules of an impulse, right? Wave 4 doesn't enter the territory of wave 2 except in the case of a leading diagonal. Okay, so here he has some rules. Okay, and here's a real life example. Okay, so let's look and see if what we're experiencing can't be a leading diagonal. Okay, and this is the part where I think we should pay attention to. If it's a leading diagonal, what should hold is this. Okay, this would make it an expanding leading diagonal. Okay, and now let's go on a smaller time frame, see a little more detail. Okay, so it should be a 53535. Let's see if we can't see 5 waves. Can we see 5 waves here? This is the issue. Is this a 5-wave structure? This looks to me, but very clearly, a 3-wave structure. And this looks like a 3-wave structure. This looks like a 3-wave structure. Maybe this is one of those rare cases where it's a 3-3-3-3-3. These look like corrective waves, just a bunch of corrective waves, if I'm really being honest. So I mean, let's just humor that. And guys, let me know, what do you think of this price action? How do you read this? You know, what's your take? Are you seeing a leading diagonal? Are you, like, what are you seeing here? This is challenging, but okay. And then once, let's say it does do this, okay, and we do end up hitting 2000 or 2100, the retracement there, you know, the retracement after the fact should be around here, back to this level. If it's a steep retracement, it comes down to the 0618. Yeah. Let's make it opaque. So that's kind of what, if this is a leading diagonal, this is what we should expect. Okay. But again, it's price action's tough, and corrective price action's tough. And this is one of the few cases where you're in impulse, but it's acting corrective. Okay. And another thing I'll say is, in my experience, you typically get leading diagonals when you're initiating new trends, like at the bottom of markets, or at the, when you're just getting started and you're trying to build momentum. Leading diagonals are quite common, actually. Yeah. So this would not be it would not be too crazy to kind of think that you're getting some sort of leading diagonal. The one thing I don't like about this read rather, is this wave right here. I think this is clearly a 3-wave move, and that just kind of breaks the idea of this being a 5-3-5-3-5, sort of ascending broadening wedge. It'd be more like a 3-3-3-3-3, but Proctor and Frost did say they sometimes saw leading diagonals print as 3 3 3 3 3s, right? Let's go back to that, because that's not something you see every day. I personally have, if I have seen it, I haven't paid attention. Yeah, so it has recently come to light that a diagonal occasionally appears in the wave 1 position of impulses and in the wave A position of zigzags. In the few examples we have, the subdivisions appear to be the same, 3 3 3 3 3, although in 2 cases they can be labeled 5 3 5 3 5. Yeah, leading diagonals I typically see as 5 3 5 3 5. I do not see the 3 3 3 3 3, but then again, they're corrective. So I think when you're dealing with corrective waves, you tend to see the 3s, right? So this may be a leading diagonal. If this is indeed a leading diagonal, and we do get that move to the 20K region, I think the retracement, as Proctor and Frost said, should be steep. Coming back to this area, this region right here. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. That's my best read. You know, this is tricky stuff. It's tricky stuff, but that's my best read. A move up and then a move back down for wave 2, if this indeed is an impulsive wave 1, right? Which means we started our impulse right here on the 15th. But, you know, great one of the great things about this is we're making higher highs, okay? You're making higher highs. I know it's ugly, but you're making higher highs and higher lows. So that is technically quite bullish, all right? So that's Bitcoin. That's my best take on Bitcoin. SPX looks like it's moving up a little bit. DXY looks like it's moving down. Okay, that's the shit we want to see. That's what we want to see. Okay. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, and then we're gonna have a look at the altcoins. Okay, we're gonna do our watch list, and then call it a stream. Guys, I hope you're having a great Tuesday. Let's see. Okay, give me 1 second. Just gonna take a quick bathroom break. All right. So let's look at the altcoins. And again, as usual, if you have anything that you want to look at, let me know now, because we're going to go through these and then we're going to call it a stream. Let's start with Cardano. Okay, so Cardano's a little less ambiguous. Here you have a 5-wave move, and you basically have a retest of the 0618. It's quite clear, yeah? You went up 5, you came down 3. 1, 2, 3, it seems. Let's go on the smaller time frame so I can look at that in a little more detail. So let's get rid of that. Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And the way it looks like, so I was trying to see, like, how is this a three-wave move? And sometimes your three-wave moves look like this. Sometimes they look like this. Sometimes they look like this. Okay? This is the H three-wave move. And the way it works is you have 5 waves up, 5 waves down, 3 waves up, and 5 waves down in an ending diagonal. Do you see that right here? That is an ending diagonal. So that is how you sort of ended this B wave. This is an A wave. It's 5 waves. This is a B wave. It's 3 waves. You're looking for 5 waves. Okay? That read on Cardano is a lot more straightforward than what we're dealing with on Bitcoin. Although Bitcoin is, Bitcoin did have that 5-wave impulse, and then looks like 3 waves, so we should be expecting 5 waves. It happened a little differently in Bitcoin. Do you see? So in Cardano, still, what you're looking at here is a zigzag, a 5-3-5. In Bitcoin, you're also looking at a zigzag. It just looks a little different. Okay, and if this is indeed a leading diagonal, this is a high level read. Most people are not making this read. I just now saw this, if this is indeed what's happening, right? And you can see where I only saw it at wave 4, the diagonal is almost finished. But yes, 5 waves up, 3 waves down. The 3 waves down would be like this. Okay, because this is an ending diagonal right here. Anyway, you see that ending diagonal, and this is your 5 waves up that you've already started. That's your 5, 3, 5. So basically, you're going to put in your wave 5. While you put in your wave 5, something like Cardano that's a little more conventional is putting in its 5 waves. So do you see, like, it's what I love about charting and the markets are that they're not always doing the same thing. Okay, you could see they're doing different things, but in some way, shape, or in some way they're similar. They're doing the same thing. They're doing different things. They're doing the same thing in different ways, it seems. They're doing the same thing in different ways. Okay. So Osman says, hi Dean, when you are going over the alts, could you please take a look at QNT? I've been holding it since $100 a token, but I feel like we may go higher. What do you think? All right, let's have a look at QNT as well. But yeah, this I think is really cool. I don't know. So yeah, as Bitcoin seems to be putting in wave 5 of its leading diagonal, now Cardano is going to just put in a 5-wave last leg of a zigzag. That would be cool. Okay, let's add QNT so we don't forget. Let's look at this one. Okay, dot. Okay, this is also quite straightforward. It's interesting. Bitcoin's typically the straightforward one, and these alts are less straightforward. But this is really straightforward. You see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an ending diagonal, right? It's very clean ending diagonal, and it's a clean 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves, right? Boom. That's Polkadot. I think that's quite straightforward, right? You guys see that? Ethereum. And in all these cases, mind you, so if you look in any text, one of the requirements for these, one of the requirements for a zigzag is that the B wave retrace to a minimum of the 0.5 and maximum 618. Okay, and that's exactly what you're seeing here. You're seeing that 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level hit in the B wave. So keep that in mind. So DOT's pretty straightforward. Ethereum looks like we have again 5 waves here. This is clearly a 3-wave move. I think Ethereum is doing something similar to Bitcoin. Let's see. It looks to me, because this clearly is not a 5-wave move right here, right? This is not a 5-wave move. This is not an impulse to the downside, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's not a complete impulse to the downside. This is clearly a corrective move. If that's the case, then this is very much like Bitcoin, and we're in leading diagonal territory. That's a tough read. I don't even know if that's true and it plays out. That's a very, very tough read. Like, I love the creativity that is involved in, charting and making these reads. It's really, you learn as much as you can in terms of the rules and guidelines and all that stuff, and then it's pure art to apply sometimes. Like, you just have to be really open-minded and creative and see these patterns, and obviously you can't just apply anything willy-nilly, but within the norms of what's legal. Yeah, I see that. I'm seeing a leading diagonal. Right? You guys see that as well? It's not as clean as Bitcoin's leading diagonal, but it is a leading diagonal. It's a bunch of corrective waves. 3 waves up, 3 waves down, 3 more waves up, right? 3 waves down. And this should yield a move, a final move to this region right here for Ethereum. Something like that. And when it's all said and done, if this is indeed a leading diagonal, just like Bitcoin, you should be able to take your Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom to the top, and then expect in the worst case scenario some sort of sharp correction down to the 5 ratio or the 618. Okay. So yeah, this is a tough read, but that's my best guess. That's my best guess as to what's going on here, right? That's my best guess. Yeah, that's my best guess. Reserve rights. This is more straightforward. This is a lot more straightforward, okay? You can clearly see some sort of pattern here playing out, which is on the higher time frames, a nice inverse head and shoulders, okay? On the lower time frames, it looks to me like this was corrective up until here. You got wave 1, wave 2, right? Wave 3, a deep wave 4 retracement that should give you an expanded wave 5. Okay? And so you could just measure that out if you'd like. Right now we're eyeballing it. Excuse me. You can tell that wave 1 took around the same time as wave 2, and the retracement was between the 382 and the 618. You could tell 5 waves very clearly, and that wave 3 was about 1618, 161% or 200% of wave 1. You could tell that. And wave 4 is clearly retraced, a substantial level. Okay, but it's not, let's see. Yeah, that's the end of wave 3 right here. Wave 3 ends right there. You see that? So yeah, wave 4 respected the 0618 just barely, but it respected the 0618 of wave 3 with this deep retracement. And so do you expect to get a massive wave 5 here to end this impulse? And then once again, wherever wave 5 ends, you take the bottom of all of this all the way to the top, and then you target the 0618 for maximum retracement, and then you do it all over again. And obviously the time for that whole retracement should take around the same time it took you to get all the way up there, which is about 2 days. Okay, so let's say we hit these wave 5 targets by tonight or tomorrow morning, that's Wednesday. Expect 48 hours later, Thursday, Friday. So we go into the weekend basically ready to do it all over again. So that's my read on reserve rights. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Reserve rights is a little more straightforward. SNX. Okay, here's what I think is happening, right? I think this is a glimpse into the future. 5 waves up, 3 waves down, some sort of consolidation reversal, 5 waves up, boom. That's your zigzag. Is it finished? That's the question. Is it finished? Is it finished? Is it finished? That's the first thing that comes into my mind. Yeah, it's finished. It's finished. I'm trying to see if this has retraced sufficiently. Let's see if we can't. If we pull it, I think it's just barely retraced to a minimum of the 382. Okay, I'm trying to figure out where to pull the bottom of that impulse, but it's just barely retraced in this very bullish. So this is a 3-wave move, A, B, C, with it looks like a zigzag. Is that a double zigzag? Right? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Looks like a double zigzag. It's very bullish. Very bullish. This, whatever, synthetics is super bullish. It's super bullish. That's as minimum, that's as, that's like minimum retracement. Minimum retracement. But it put in the 535 already. So this is a step ahead. Again, the market's doing the same thing. It's just at different times and in different ways. So this 535 zigzag has been executed and already retraced minimally. I think this hit just grazed the 0.382. So I think that's very, very bullish. Let's see. Okay, veracity. Okay, this is a flat correction, okay? So you saw 3 waves here, 3 waves here, and then what you see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're getting ready to print, okay? Let's just zoom in for a second and see if that's correct. No, it can't be correct, right? Why? It's because even though this is 3 waves, and this is, whoops, and this is 3 waves, this has to be 3 waves, 3 waves. This is a pivot. This has to be a pivot because, one, this is clearly right here, a 3-wave move, and then 2, because the time it takes to go up here is not even close to the time it took to come down, which leads you to believe that this is a pivot and then impulse has to start after that. But this isn't the beginning of the impulse right here. Okay, let's see. Just peek at the DXY. What's it doing? Looks like it's holding this right here. Wants to come right back up. I don't know. SPX. Looks like it wants to retrace a little bit down before going back up. It's just my sense. Okay. ZIL. First thing that pops out at me is this double bottom on the bottom of the momentum indicator on the hourly time frame. That's quite bullish. The second thing is this is again 5, 3, 5 situation. Okay, I think that's what you got here. 3 waves, 5 waves up, 3 waves down, a leading diagonal into a 5 wave. So that's there's your leading diagonal that's actually played out. So you see here it is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that 5th wave extension is actually starting out as a leading diagonal, which is actually crazy. You see, like, there's 2 leading diagonals. There's a leading diagonal in waves 1 through 4, and then a leading diagonal in the extended wave 5. You guys see that? And that's retraced, kind of like what we just said. All of that should retrace to the 0.618. So if you take your Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom here to the top there, oh, that retracement's a lot more than the 0.618. So what must be going on here is, if this is a 5 through 5 zigzag, what happens is that you're putting in some sort of 3-wave move down to the 786, which is exactly where you would expect most flat corrections to retrace. So let's go into smaller time frames. Okay, yeah, you do have a 3-wave move here. 1, 2, 3, like that. So this is the tricky one. It's a tricky one. But given the retracement, I think it makes it a little more simple for us, right? If you're retracing by that much, it's quite simple to say that this is likely not impulsive but corrective. I'm trying to think, is it corrective in the context of a leading diagonal? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is a 3, 3, 5 situation. because I see 3 waves here, I see 3 waves there, and I have a 786 retracement. So if I see 3 waves, 2 sets of 3 waves, and one of them retraces 786 of the other, then to me that's a 335 playing out. Okay, that's a flat correction. That's a definition of a flat correction. 3 waves, 5 waves. This retraces 786, at least between 786 and 1618 of that. That's it. You know, it looks funky, and you know, this is the challenge. It's not that every flat correction is gonna look like this, right? Sometimes they look ugly and difficult to read, but based off of what I understand, that's a flat correction. That's a little bit of a tricky one. Ravane, we're gonna skip as usual because small time frames, it's very tough to read. It's just too volatile. Here we have again our 535 zigzag. I think that's a complete 535 zigzag, and kind of like what you saw in Zilliqa, it's potential that it's possible that that is a okay. Here is another thing. So this 535 led to a 3-wave move down. So this one, let's see. Okay, it's possible that this is an impulse already. Let's see how long it took to go up here. 5 hours and 30 minutes. And how long it took to go down. I would probably take it from here. Yeah, that's an A-B situation. Okay, so okay, again, kind of like what you see in Zilliqa, but in a different way. You put in that 535, but in this case, it seems to be that this 5-wave structure retraced with a 3-wave structure, so forming another zigzag. So you have like 2 zigzags in succession. So zigzag here. Sorry. To zigzag. Does that make sense? That's a complex zigzag. This is exactly why what do I want to say? This is exactly why corrections are another level of reading and another level of analysis. Almost anybody can read impulsive price action. It's straightforward. 53535. It's straightforward. You know, 0618, 0236 to 382 retracement levels. Okay, the harder, the most challenging it gets is with those leading diagonals and maybe some ending diagonals. But corrective price action reads really takes a lot of creativity. I think that's what you're seeing here in Cardano. You're basically you put in that zigzag, and then this is retracing on the C portion or the impulsive portion of that, going into another zigzag. So 2 zigzags kind of put in succession, a double zigzag. Okay, Litecoin. I'm seeing at first blush that zigzag, 5 waves up, 3 waves down, and I think you're getting a leading diagonal. Okay, I think this is 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, and you're gonna most likely get that extended wave 5. So it's a 535 with a leading diagonal. This is what I'm seeing in Litecoin. These tricky reads. These are tricky ass reads. You know, is it correcting? Is it going in impulse? It's actually doing both, because a leading diagonal is a corrective impulse. Okay, Dogecoin, let's zoom out for a second on the hourly so we can actually make sense. It's one of those charts that doesn't have enough data for some reason. Okay, I think this is more straightforward. 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves up situation, and you've already started here. You just started in the last hour to put that impulse for the last 5 waves. 535 for Doge. Dodo. Okay. 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves. 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. Okay. But now you've retraced sharply. And let's see. Let's use our oops, we wouldn't do that from there. We'd do it from here. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you're retracing to the 0618. Okay, so you're holding that 618 in a 3-wave retracement. But question is, how long did it take? So if this is the start of the impulse to the upside, 1 day, 11 hours. We want something comparable for this move here. And it's taken around the same time. Okay, similar. 1 day, 11 hours, 1 day, 20 hours. It's similar. Okay, this may be in Dodo a wave 1, wave 2 situation. Okay, that's a potential wave 1, wave 2 situation for continuation in Dodo. Okay, and if you just look at it in terms of pattern analysis, you got your inverse head and shoulders. You broke out, you hit your target, okay, and you basically retesting that as support. So you broke resistance, retested as support, continue for that. So Dodo's looking like it's looking bullish. Let's see what the momentum indicator says. Yeah, our momentum indicators are completely oversold, and they're raring to go. Both on the hour and 4-hourly time frame. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going in depth. I don't hide anything. This is exactly what I do for my own investments. I'm pretty much sharing everything to the same degree of, I'm not selling anything. I'm not hiding anything. It's just, I have it here. Everything I've ever learned, I share. 5, 3, very, very easy. XRP. 5, 3, and okay, it's clear that. Actually, let's see this. I want to say it's not at all comparable in time, and I believe I'm right. 18 hours. Yeah, this 3-wave sequence from here all the way here. Yeah, not even close. Okay, so it's this is a 535 situation once more. 5 waves up, 3 waves down, and it looks like you're pivoting for another 5 waves up. That's what it looks like to me. This looks like a pivot, a big pivot. A, B, whatever, into your 5 waves up. Okay, but most important thing is you had 5 waves up, and you're holding the 0.618 of that previous 5 wave impulse. Okay, and now finally quant. If you guys have any requests, tell me now, because this may be the last one I do before I call it a stream. Okay, so QNT, let's zoom out a little bit. Wow, it's just been going up and up and up and up. Okay, so this is cool. So this is one of those few assets that started its bull run early. Okay, this is the big capitulation of, you know, most altcoins on May 12th. Okay, and you can see this consolidation reversal pattern that it broke out of really early back in July. Okay, so we put that in, and it looks like we put another level of correction here. But you can also say here, so this is clearly 5 waves up. It took about 14 days. Okay, and this is clearly 3 waves down. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in a second. Okay. This is the 3 waves. Okay, so this to me is very clearly an A-B situation. That's an A, that's a B, because look, 53 days versus 14 days, there's no comparability there. That's not a 1-2 situation. That's not the start of a bull market or an impulse. Okay, it is the start of an impulse technically, but not a pure impulse. That's a corrective impulse. So what you have is your 2 degrees of A-B basing, A, B, and then your second A wave and B wave. This is the start of the impulse, pure impulse, right here in September 7th. Okay, so quant is one of those that, if we want to read, let's get rid of all of this. If we want to read, we're starting to read here on September 7th, 6th, 7th, something like that, right here. And what we should see here from here on out is clean, impulsive price action. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you try to read your waves, you can see 5 waves up and 3 waves down. 5 waves up, 3 waves down, repeatedly. Okay, so the time it takes to put in 5 waves up, 5 days. Wave 2 should take a similar amount of time. Okay, 7 days, not too different. So that fits. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly 5 days. 5 days, 7 days, that's comparable. Okay, so that's a wave 1, wave 2 situation. And again, I'm starting to read that from here. And this is probably wave 3, but we're just going to check. Let's bust out our Fibonacci extension tool. Bottom here. Retracement here. Looks like this is the end of wave 3 right here. And you can clearly see a triangle, and you see triangles don't occur anywhere but wave 4. Okay, so that is a telltale sign. Oh, damn magnet. Okay, so right here, and you can see 1, 2, this 5 A, B, C, D, E triangle right here. That's wave 4. No, I was right the first time. This is wave 4. This is the wave 4 of the trend that we're talking about. This is a wave 4, but this is wave 4 of wave 3. Okay, we have an expanded wave 3 here. Okay, and that's to be expected with these bull runs. And then what you have here is, I think you get one more wave up here. I think you're once again in a wave 4 situation here. I'm not exactly sure. That's the trickiest part of reading impulsive price action in bull markets. When does it end? It just keeps going. But my best read is that this is wave 4 of this 5th wave extension. And you can expect a little more upside before a correction. Okay. So on the 4-hourly time frame, it does show that we have a little more ways to go. On the hourly time frame, it does show as well that we have a little more ways to go. In any case, like, this is something that is, it looks healthy, and it looks like it's already in its pure impulsive price action. It's making higher highs and higher lows, and you know, it's charting as a pure impulse. Okay, and you could probably even do some pattern analysis here if you want to get these targets. I think I would do, if I were trading this and I've really wanted to figure out where wave 5 ended, I would do something like this. Take the height of this inverse head and shoulders and just say I'm targeting wave 5 to be up here around 375 before some sort of 3-wave correction down. Okay, but this is healthy, this is nice. There's nothing, I mean, like, you got to be crazy to sell this. You just hold it. You're at the bottom of a bear market. Just hold it. Let it go to wherever the hell it goes. It's going to go high, just like everything else in the bull market. Yeah? So let's have a last look at Bitcoin and the DXY, and then call it a stream. Okay, so Bitcoin on the hourly time frame, just looking like it's consolidating at this level. Okay, let's have a zoom in. Okay, it's looking very bullish, right? What do I say that? You see a lot of hammer candles, long wicks to the downside. Is this a wave 1, wave 2 situation? Let's see. Is it possible? So 1 hour and 15 minutes to go up. 1 hour and 30 minutes to go down. It may be a wave 1, wave 2 situation. You see how that works, guys? And obviously, you can just eyeball it, but you already see that the price is respected, right? 382 to 618 Fibonacci retracement level is respected. Okay, so Bitcoin's looking promising. Just a quick, yeah, Cardano is looking super bullish right here. All these wicks to downside, basically you're forming, you're just pretty much rearing to go. Your momentum indicator on the 15-minute time frame looks overbought, but your hourly, yeah, your hourly are strong oversold. 4 hourly, it's cross bearish, but at any moment should cross bullish. Okay. And then lastly, quick peek at the DXY. What the hell is the DXY doing on the 15-minute time frame? Okay, let's say this is, as we counted it out, a WXY, right? WXY right here. Then this is our maybe this is the start of our impulse down, and this is a wave 2 situation. So we expect to come up here before we continue. Maybe. I don't know. That's my read. Okay. So, guys, that's it from me. Hope this was helpful. Hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you got value. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Yeah, that's it. Bye. See you tomorrow.